Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. This is Colleen Beamish from Humor Bean Cards, and today I will be using the new Lawn Fawn Highland Cows bundle to create a sweet birthday card. I love the stamp set. Highland cows are some of the cutest creatures to me, and I'm so glad Lawn Fawn came out with this. I'm especially happy that there's the stamp set plus the coordinating dies and the coloring stencils, so it's super easy to use this set. And then I'm pairing that with the Grassy Pasture's horizontal die. So let's go ahead and get to stamping. So I picked out almost all of the stamps from this set, and I'm just stamping them all at once in my mini MISTI. So I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock, and then I'm using some Gina Amalgam black ink to stamp these images down. The Gina Amalgam black ink is perfect for Copic coloring, and it's also great for stenciling with, which is what I will be doing today. I'll actually be doing kind of a combination of both, so be sure to stick around to check that out. So once I stamped it down, I went ahead and I did double stamp just so that I could get the perfect solid image. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you'll know that I usually prefer to die cut first and then stamp so that it's easier to line up. But in this case, I wanted stenciling to be really easy, and I didn't want to have to try to hold down all of the die cut pieces. So I'm going to do the die cutting last. Now, with this stencil set, there's 3 stencils, and they're labeled with the number of cow that they are. And basically, each cow has a few layers. So I'm starting with the biggest layer of each cow, and I'm just going to do it one color at a time rather than one stencil at a time. So I'll go through and do all of the darker brown on each cow and then all of the lighter brown and go through that way. So for this main color, it's actually more of like a rusty orange color that I'm using, and I have an Altenew mini blending brush, and these are my favorite blending brushes because they give you so much control due to the short bristles. And I'm just adding color, kind of giving it a gradient. So I'm going a little bit darker around the edges and then fading lighter by lifting up the pressure of the blending brush. So you'll see here it's perfectly colored in and it looks really detailed. You can also, after you do the ink blending, you can go in with a Copic marker and add some texture, but I'm keeping it really simple. All of my cows are going to be the same color. So this first layer, I'm doing all in that same darker kind of terracotta color. Obviously, Highland cows come in various colors, but I want to keep it nice and simple. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward and move on to the next layer. So next is the faces of the cows, and I'm actually using the same exact color. I'm just not adding a lot of more ink to my blending brush. I'm kind of using what's left over on there and what's on the stencil. I am dipping it in a little bit into the ink, but I'm really trying to keep it lighter so that there is contrast between the parts I've already ink blended and the parts I'm doing now. And I'm keeping that nice and pale, so I'm also keeping a light hand and, kind of stopping before I would usually stop. I want it to be more contrasted. There you can really see the difference. So I do that for all of the cows all at once, just like I did with the darker color before. The next step is the noses, and I am using a blush pink, and kind of conveniently it comes out kind of taupey, or not really pink, which I like. Wanted it to be kind of a soft brown almost, but I didn't want to use that same color we had used for the rest of the cow. So I like this blush pink color for that. And I'm, again, very simple and very easy. With this smaller space, I'm not doing as much of a gradient as I did with the other orange colors. It's pretty much just a flat wash of that pink color. Now you could carry on using the stencils for all of the rest of the images, but all the rest of the pieces were so tiny and I didn't want to keep having to move the stencil around and grab different blending brushes. So I'm just going in with my Copic markers for the smaller spaces. I started to do the hooves in a dark gray, but then wanted it to be brown because the dark gray felt very dark and kind of cold compared to the colors of the cows. And then I'm going in with one of the E letter markers here. Sorry, I'm not good at remembering to put the marker cap on the screen. Then I'm going in with a blush color to do the little cheeks. I will link everything I'm using in today's video down in the description below, so you can definitely check everything out down there. All the little like grasses and leaves I'm doing with a nice green, doing some colors on the flowers. This is all like the simplest Copic coloring because the areas are so small you can't really do layering or blending or anything. And then I'm just die cutting everything out. These dies were really easy to line up. Everything cut out pretty perfectly, so I'm really happy with that. And I can cut it all out at once, which is really convenient as well. Oh, also, I forgot to mention I did go in with a white gel pen and just add some highlights and little dots and things. I just did that off camera, but I think those add the perfect detail to any little lawn fawn images. So these are all my little cows cut out and they make me so happy. So now I'm working on the background. So I use that Grassy Pastures dye, and then I use some Lawn Fawn pattern paper. Again, that will be linked down below. And I'm just taking some Distress Oxide ink and I'm just ink blending around the edges of this because it felt very flat and plain without some sort of border. So I'm just using a blending brush, and with Distress Oxides, it's so easy to blend it. So it is sped up here, but it took me like 2 minutes max. Then I'm just taking some double-sided adhesive and I'm gonna glue this to a card base. So I think I mentioned before it's an A2 card, so 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so I'm just using a heavyweight white cardstock as the card base and gluing this right on top. It was actually a card base that I previously had messed up, so I like that I could cover the entire thing and not waste a whole card base because of my poor ink blending in a previous project. So now I'm just arranging the cows as I want them. Since I only put glue around the border of the background, some of those little like grassy pieces can be like perked up a little bit. I use my tweezers to kind of get them away from the back. I feel like I'm not describing that well, but basically I could tuck the little cows into the little spaces that the die cut out in that background. So I'm just, arranging these as I want them. I did want to use all of the cows if possible, and then once I'm happy with the layout, I'll go ahead and adhere them down. I did a mix of using foam tape to pop up some of the cows, and then some of the more background characters I would just glue down using liquid glue. Now I'm working on my sentiment, and the card is going to say, "I heard it's your birthday." It's Your Birthday is all one stamp in this stamp set, but I wanted it to be on 3 lines on my card so that it fit well. So I just cut that stamp so it says It's Your and then birthday separately. And that is no problem to cut your stamps. They're easy to line up again. So I always think it pays off to go ahead and do that. And it's likely that I'll want to use birthday by itself again. So I line those up in my mini MISTI, and I'm stamping that down with that same Gina K Amalgam black ink. And I just stamped that a few times to make sure I get a good impression, especially since I'm stamping over that die cut background. And the last touch is taking a little heart from the stamp set on an acrylic block and stamping it by my little party cow here. So that completes the card for today. I think this is so cute and I can't wait to give it to a friend for their birthday. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel, as there's always more crafty inspiration here all the time. So I hope to see you again real soon. Thanks so much. Bye.